Welcome back to the Global Local Top Tips, and today lamb and feta meatballs in a spicy sugo sauce. Perfect for dinner any night of the week or something a little bit more special when people are coming over. I'm going to show you exactly how to get it done. Let's get stuck in. So to get started here, let's start off with our sauce. And the sauce is so adaptable to so many things. This is just a beautiful tomato sauce that you can use for so many different dishes. And the principles are the same. So first we've got a pan. We're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of a good olive oil. I'm going to use half an onion here. And I'm just going to roughly dice it. And I'm going to put that straight in. Remembering the principle that we had in other videos, that you want to cook this onion quite slowly to bring out all its flavor. Now into that, I've got 4 garlic cloves, whole garlic cloves. I've just peeled them and I'm putting them straight in there too. I've got 1 teaspoon of chilli, and depending on how much you love chilli, you can add in more or less. Now we're going to cook off this onion and garlic and chilli. We're going to do it slowly for about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm not looking for any great amount of color on there. I just want to get them soft and release as much flavor from that as possible. These are some of the most basic principles of French cooking to get the most amount of flavor out of as little as possible. So my onion, garlic and chilli has now just been sauteing off for 5 or 6 minutes. You can really see that flavor coming through. I'm going to add in half a cup of white wine. And that's optional. You can add in red wine if you want, or you can add in no wine. It's completely up to you. I've got 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Really adds a real kick to that sauce. That smoky flavor coming through. And now I've got 700 mils of just a tomato juice. Salt, and I'm going to hold back a little bit on the salt and pepper and just put in a little bit, and we can always adjust it at the end. And the reason why I'm doing that is I've got my special ingredient, and this special ingredient is what makes a good tomato sauce a great tomato sauce. You'll find a lot of people add sugar in their tomato sauce because of the bitterness of the tomatoes. And that's not really where we should be going with it. We should be adding in bacon. So I've got 2 pieces of bacon here. You can also use ham hock, or you can go into your local butcher and ask him just for 400 grams of bacon fat, and he'll give you just that bacon fat, and he'll probably give it to you for free. And what that does is that fat takes away the bitterness of the sauce and also adds a sweetness to it, and it makes a huge difference. I've got 2 pieces of bacon here, and I'm just going to put them in as is, remembering you have to take them out when the sauce is finished. So we're going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes, just on a real low simmer. We'll give it an occasional stir, and if you find that it's starting to thicken up too much, add in a little bit of water. So to start off the meatball, I've got 500 grams of lamb mince. I'm taking my other half an onion here and just gonna finely dice it. Straight in. Got some beautiful candy parsley here. And I think the common mistake most people use is that, especially with meatballs or with minced dishes, try and cram so many different flavors in there with herbs, spices, but it's not necessary. Just keep it nice and fresh and nice and simple, and the results are always much, much better. So our parsley goes in there. I'm going to take 100 grams of goat's cheese, feta, and I'm just going to crumble it in. Pepper. And again, you don't need to go crazy on the pepper and the salt. You don't need to go crazy on that either, because we're going to cook these in the sauce. So straight in there, and you just want to incorporate it in. You don't want to work it too hard. You don't want it to go stringy. And if you've seen a video that I've done a while ago on the perfect burger, it's very similar. You don't want to work it too hard because it gets the mince too hard because it gets very, very stringy. So our mince has been resting in the fridge for 20 minutes and it's ready to be used. And again, you can see that it's actually dried up quite a bit, which is just where we want it to be. We don't want to be putting tomato sauce. We won't need mustard in here. We don't need breadcrumbs. We don't need eggs. We don't need any of these things. A lot of the time are just fillers to make a bigger batch. I've even seen people put flour through it, and it's just completely unnecessary. Let's keep it fresh, let's keep it simple, and let's keep it really, really tasty. So our sauce has been simmering away now for about 20 minutes, and let's just have a little taste. You can really taste that smoked paprika coming through there. And this is where now we're going to add in more pepper and just a little bit of salt, because the bacon has a certain amount of salt in there already. Two or three more minutes, we'll get stuck in. So our sauce is nearly ready. And now we're going to roll up our meatballs. And I'm going to use my frying pan. This is one of my favorite frying pans. I think every chef has one. And it's been with me for a while, hence why it looks so battered, but it really does do the job so well. Metal handle, of course, so I can put it straight into the oven. So we'll roll up our meatballs to about 40 gram little lots. And we're just going to place them around. And of course, you can make them bigger if you want. But just remember, they will shrink a little bit. And this dish is so good for when people come over for share plates or tapas. But also very good just for a pasta dish. Just on top of some linguine. Try and make them all the same size. You can weigh them out, of course, in 40 or 50 gram lots. But after a while, you get a pretty good eye what looks right. So you want to give them a little bit of room, because you want to get the sauce right in there. And just scrape up the last little bit of feta and onion. Now to our sauce. We'll just have another little taste. Seasoning's good. There's a nice kick through there. You can really taste that smoked paprika. Now, let's find our bacon. And this is just to be discarded. So again, the seasoning doesn't have to be just perfect, because when we cook these meatballs, their flavor is also going to add to the flavor of the sauce. So we're going to pour just in and around and on them meatballs. In the oven, 25 minutes at 180. So our meatballs are ready, 20-25 minutes in the oven. And you can just see they've firmed up. The sauce is looking pretty good. It's also thickened up a little bit, and it's got that shine on it now from the fat from the meatballs. So let's finish this up. I've got my bowl here. And let's place some meatballs in here. A little bit of that sauce. A little bit of that sauce. And just grab a little bit of that flat leaf parsley. Again, nothing with big flavors here. A little bit of basil would also be okay. Sprinkle on top. A little bit more of that feta. And then just to finish it off, a little bit of that olive oil around the sides. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment down below any videos that you'd like to see me do in the future. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. We'll see you soon.